into it.
All right, welcome back to another edition of Just Kicking It podcast. We are back for all the listeners. Before we get started, all listeners, we did the live show. If you're on YouTube, you already seen the live show. But for our audio listeners, at the end of this show, we're gonna tack on that conversation with my boy Emihim, that was an Arsenal fan. I wish we would have had him on after the Arsenal debacle, right after that, and then the Everton loss. It was L's after L's that Everton was taking right after he was talking. So he's real interested in considering that.
Yeah,
Pete, go ahead, jump on in, man.
Yeah, definitely shout out to him, man. And I definitely ran through my mind, like you're saying, that Everton game. Definitely heart went out to him, but thank him for joining the pod, and definitely our guest today, Double D. Go ahead and introduce him
back,
again
man.
the show.
Thank you for being
How's
back.
everybody feeling, man? It's been a busy, an eventful week in world football. So,
Let's get right into it. The Champions League redraw that happened today. Initially, they had us with PSG. I wasn't freaking out. I was more like, oh, they would do that too. That's what. And then I saw Chelsea got Lille. I like, of course they would get the easiest draw.
Loving that, man. Loving that draw for us. Absolutely. I mean, we couldn't really ask for much better.
I mean, y'all got it twice. That's the killer. So in the redraw.
Meant to be football God shining, you know.
Yeah, that 50-50 that Bayern was sitting there too, boy. It was sitting there on that.
But the way that works out, though, man, what's interesting is like the way that works out is sometimes those thing-on teams are surprising, because that happened that first COVID summer.
Yeah, you talking about with what you call it?
Into the semifinal?
It wasn't Leo. It was Leon. Leon
went far.
Leo, no. Leon went far. Because I think it beat Juventus and somebody else. Because they went to the semifinals.
They ended up in the semifinals, but I don't remember which.
I think they beat Juventus first, and then they beat somebody else, and then got to semifinals and lost to Bayern.
Because I've seen them play a little bit. They have a lot of team speed, so I have seen that, and so that maybe they could be some type of formidable opponent. I mean, because everybody's going to be good in Champions League, so there's always that. But it is pretty interesting how that did happen twice. Like you said, it was just meant to be. That was the matchup we were supposed to see.
So how was y'all feeling when y'all saw the initial, like, oh, they got to redraw it? Like, that there's somebody, I don't even know how that's possible. With all the computerized stuff.
Had it happened before? That was my initial thought.
Has it happened before, B?
Is this unprecedented? I don't recall them having to redraw one before.
Yeah, no, I kind of did a double take at it, like, huh? And it kind of clicked, the light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, no, that's not right. So I figured that it would go to a redraw. I didn't know if they were going to do a complete redraw, which I think you almost had to make it fair. But no, very strange day in football, man. And D. Fry, you were on it early this morning, right?
Yeah, I was up early, man. I was up early, getting lunch ready for the little one, man. Getting, all my stuff. And so I got the little small TV on in the kitchen, trying to get some stuff going. It was like Man U versus PSG. I was like, oh no.
That was my breaking news report. Was glancing at my phone on the way to work, and I was like, oh. So I hit him up when I get to the job. I was like, because I hadn't read anything on that. I was like,
I literally hit him up. I was like, of course we got PSG. That's immediately what I said to him. Of course we got PSG. Because me and him have been talking about this for months, that we were like, watch them put us against PSG, no matter what happens.
And it's like at one point, my initial thing when I saw the PSG part, I'm like, oh snap, bro. Like then I started the next thing. I'm like, this actually might be a good thing to play them early in the tournament before they could get any real momentum and chemistry going. So I was thinking about that as well.
So it's interesting. That's quite a breakdown. That's quite a take. It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, the first thing would be hit up on Twitter. First thing he said was the Super League was like, "What's up?" with that Birdman hammer.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think we was definitely right on the same page immediately, saying Super League they got to be sitting back saying, "See, we told you." I mean, they can't even get a
Right.
draw right.
That's major, man.
That's exactly what they're talking about. Creating the best matchups consistently. Why not have a structure where we're going to get the best games time and time and again?
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Right. Because I can see how a lot of what they were saying as far as a counter to this situation was just even thinking about what we could consider fair play across the board. Because that's kind of what I guess the motivation for what they're doing with this complicated draw system that they have. And I've never watched it live, but I've seen the replays when they show like the little actual picking up of the balls type thing. It's like I know why they're doing it that complicated because they want to make it fair, but it's almost maybe this exposes that it's almost too complicated.
Yeah, and I think that's the right word. Complicated. Why is this tournament so complicated? It's almost a rule for every rule, and I think it just kind of came back to bite them right in the ass today. Sure. What is UEFA doing? Really?
It's with UEFA. So my next, after I was just reflecting on what happened, like this really, and they announced they're going to do the redraw and they have the time and everything. I started thinking, I'm like, for me particularly because I'm a huge Azzurri fan, the Italy national team, and I really feel like this particular generation for Portugal is kind of their now or never type situation with the way it's all coming. So it's like that causing the question how y'all do the draw for the playoff for the World Cup qualifiers then, to where Italy and Portugal end up in the same pool like that, to where wait a minute, like so what's really going on with the system that y'all are using for these draws?
What is the solution to that? Because I think that's a super valid point. We see it all over the world. Is that something where FIFA really needs to step in, be the governing body and pull all the strings and ensure this sort of stuff doesn't happen?
I would think so. That's what we want to see them to be, is more of an invisible third party that mediates as opposed to an authoritative figure that has the rules for everything, because they have each continent they can cover what they need to. But
so my question is, with this is the kind of the back end jacked up part. You really think about it. The setup and staging is going to be different next year. We are adding 4 more new teams, and it's going to be like a rotisserie like schedule where you're going to play 10 teams, 5 home, 5 away, period. And this, I don't know, it doesn't even make no sense when you look. It's like a matrix. I don't know, like you play 5-5, the best records, and then I don't even understand it.
So they really do want to make a super league, in other words. They want to adopt.
How are you going to be able to do this? And you can't even do a pot B, A, and B, just picking out one team versus another team. And now you're going to make it a 30-team theme where you're going to just 5 play, and then people gonna be mad like, oh, what? How I got to play PSG and Bayern in my 5 away, and then
they're gonna come up with something that doesn't necessarily fit the nature of.
Oh, it's gonna get. I already saw this gonna get ridiculous.
It'll be something where there'll be like regions or something like that, and it's like, wait a minute, man, like.
No, somebody like a Porto, somebody Turkey play PSG on the road. They're gonna play Bayern on the road. They gonna play at Real Madrid, but they're gonna be at home versus Salzburg. So like,
no. You're absolutely right, man. I don't understand what's going on with this tournament. Like you're saying, this next year is just mind blowing how complex it is. At a certain point, you just kind of mentally check out and you say, the money's driving this thing. They want the best matchup in the final. That's ultimately what we should get. But is that what this
that's another good point
is for?
That's another good point. I think that's also because I didn't know that, just to let everyone who may not have known that know as well. Some of the rules and stipulations that they have in the draw as far as the matchups that can go. So you can't play somebody that you're in the same group with. With that makes sense to everybody, I'm pretty sure. Like, so we want to avoid seeing a third matchup between these teams, which I wish the NFL kind of would do something similar with some of the playoff formats. But you also can't play somebody from your actual league, which is interesting. I didn't even know that until today. And that does complicate the draw quite a bit because you end up in situations where what happens where what was that like?
Well, that's how PSG ended up playing Real Madrid, is because of that.
Like one year, wasn't it like out of the 16 teams, you got four English teams all qualified for the round of 16? So it's like, and none of them can play each other. So that really manipulates the entire draw just from that. So, it's a lot that goes into those.
I mean, it's the same thing in NCAA tournament. You can't play anyone in from your conference in the first 2 rounds.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
and it makes sense after you hear it.
And then you add on to it, BYU makes a tournament. They can't play on Sundays, so like that makes it even more complicated for them.
I didn't know.
Like they don't play. You can't play on Sundays at all. So all their games got.
That's more like a scheduling thing. Plus, with NCAA, they're able to depend on regional borders to a degree. Granted, you know what I'm saying? Like you still have it where North Carolina could be the #1 seed, and
they go play in Greensboro.
It's like,
right.
But for the most part, as far as like the filler teams, you're getting people from those actual regions. So maybe Champions League could start. That's kind of what Super League was thinking about. Have it to be the regions. It kind of plays into it. So maybe if you're in a strong region, like you're in the England, whatever region. So yeah, you're the 6th place out of that. So we're going to move you over to some other place where the competition is not as stiff because you made it in or whatever.
And I think all the roads are kind of leading back to the Super League. And I mean, that's why it's so interesting, because Super League is basically giving you an episode of Versus every match. Like that's kind of the thought process. And I think UEFA could take away some things from it. But hey, that's an excellent point on the NCAA tournament too.
And we're gonna have to in the off season, we're gonna have to do an episode, every team and what rap group they would be. Like during the off season when we ain't got much to talk about, like before the World Cup, like all the major 20 teams and like what rap group or what rappers they would be.
No. And you've done so many of those different polls over the years, man. We got some reference points already to speed up the whole process. Yeah. Sure.
Spread awareness for these teams.
So let's jump into the draw here, the real draw, not the fake one. We can start off the top, the big one that was supposed to be us versus PSG, but PSG versus Real Madrid. Does Mbappe get hurt before he play? So he won't have to play his new team.
Wow, that's interesting.
And second question before y'all jump in, gentlemen. This is my second question. My first one was actually a joke. My second one's a real one. Because he can sign in January as a free transfer and stay on his team until the window opens for the summer because he's a free agent. The thought was that he was going to sign for Real Madrid in January and just play out his rest of his year for PSG and then join them in June. Would the fair play come in? What could happen? Like, can you not sign him now? Or like, what is that? Or what do you do in that situation?
Well, 3 things with that. First thing I'll say out of the 3 is that I don't think your first question is too much of a joke. And I'd almost actually like roll it into question 2 as well. But I want to get back to something that Brandon said that was, true about anybody as a neutral fan. We want the best matchups in the final. That's what we're dependent on them to help us guide it to that point. And so it just feels like when I saw this matchup, it's a letdown because this is something that I want to see as a semifinal or final if it were fruition. I don't want to see that in the round of 16 game when there are still teams, not to give them disrespect, but this is just as a outside fan, there are still teams like Salzburg, Lille, Juventus at this stage in their, for how they're looking right now. There's still teams out here that are, still in the tournament, are not facing, like something like this. They can go on further in a tournament where I really didn't want to see y'all more than one. Because y'all, I guess it's hard to articulate it fully because I don't want to disrespect those teams, but man, PSG or Real Madrid, that's something that you want to see later because of the Mbappe part as well, because he might not play. It might be some backroom, you know what, they get in like some big blow up argument. They give us a story in the media, like, yeah, he sprained his gluteus in the hot tub, so he's not gonna be able to play this. It could be like he cussed Leonardo out and sign his paperwork and I'm not playing.
Now I'm gonna jump in there too. Like, yeah, I didn't take your first question, D-Fry, as a joke at all. I almost see it like kind of how they treat a player that's out on loan. You don't play against the team, your parent club, even while you're out on loan. So, there is some sort of, backroom handshake contract where, the transfer is going to go through. I think that becomes a legitimate possibility, and be interesting to see how that plays out. Picking that game, Real Madrid, PSG. I gotta ride with PSG on that. And I agree with Double D, man. You don't want to see that matchup so early. I don't want to disrespect those other clubs either, but I understand where you're going.
Juventus is playing Villarreal. Let's just keep
the
it
big
real.
clubs, the clubs with the storied histories. That's who you want to see later in the tournament bump heads.
Yeah, I'm going PSG as well. On this one I can't see Messi getting dropped in the first round 2 years in a row.
The thing, the only reason I would like to see PSG win that matchup is because magnitude of the big names and the drama that those big names bring. But to be honest, who's playing better right now? I mean, it's probably Real Madrid, even though their league is not. It's kind of equivalent though. One of the leagues really gives us as far as who's going to win the league for both of those.
All right, next up, we got Sporting versus Man City.
I like this. See, this is the kind of round of 16 matchup you want to see. You know what I mean? Like, this is what you want to like. All right, we got City, who we think could win it all, but hey, man, y'all better not look at these guys because they are feisty. They get up in your face and they got some skill.
Yeah, no, you absolutely right on this. I mean, of course, I got Man City. I mean, it's the obvious pick, but it's a match worth watching. You're going to get 90 minutes of a good watch, man. So, I mean, that's what the Champions League should be delivering at this stage.
I'm going. I mean, it's Man City, but
yeah, City's the favorite in
the whole damn thing. Yeah.
All right, next up. Salzburg versus Bayern. I guess it's a player on Salzburg. They said it's supposed to be the next up heir apparent to Lewandowski. It's a 19-year-old. They're supposed to be the truth. That I was listening to British radio, and they were like, "This is like a setup basically for his tryout to be like them to sign him in the next come up." I forgot the player. I'm gonna look him up.
I can't think of his name either. But this is this is the beauty. This is when Champions League does what it's supposed to do. So this is going to be this is wonderful because not only is it, a good as far as you got a big name versus that's not so well a known name, but it's also like a regional thing too because it's right Austria and Germany. That's a huge.
No, it's a rivalry too. They say it's like a small rivalry as well. This
is awesome. So this is going to be and it also a quick little reference to This is kind of a type of team that you would see by is
we lost Double D. Oh, there he is.
There he is. Go ahead. We had lost you for a second, D.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. We got you.
In terms of Salzburg is one of those cool like Ralph Rangnick type teams as far as leaning on like team organization and team press cohesion. So it'll be interesting to see them coming up against, which I feel is maybe the most complete team, maybe not the overall favorite over everyone, like with City, Liverpool, everybody involved. But Bayern is such a complete team to where they could play any style. It's pretty cool. So this will be a nice game to watch as well.
Yeah, I hate to be such agreeable, but I mean I see it the exact same way.
It's Kareem Adeyemi. It's like your brother, Kareem Adeyemi.
Okay, I was checking his name out too. What is he, like Nigerian?
I'm looking him up now. He
might be Egyptian, right?
But definitely, I got the Bundesliga giants.
He's German. He's German.
Okay, my passport.
That's a whole different conversation.
But no, man. I definitely got the Bundesliga Giants walking away, but it should be a fun match. And you're absolutely right, man. Salzburg team cohesion. They got a nice young club, a production line over there. So for Austria, it should be nice for them.
Yeah, he's German. How is he German? I mean, I know
That's
how. But I'm just saying, like,
that's the World Cup episode show. Actually,
yeah. He's Nigerian and his mother's Romanian. There you go. Yo, hey man, hey, shout out to our African brothers and sisters. They be getting everywhere, man. Black people go.
They gonna make it wet.
Romanian. You picked up a Romanian wife.
Oh, bro.
Hey man.
Hey, there's a brother in Iceland right now trying to make it happen, baby. Right now, Iceland.
It's all about the ease of the immigration process. That's what. Hey, what's about?
All right, next up we got Villarreal versus Juventus.
Man, Juventus better win this one. That's all I can say.
Juve, they should.
I'm gonna go with Villarreal just because I think Juve is like in 12th place. I think in Serie A right now, something crazy, right?
So they have to win this just off of just to save.
They're not gonna be in Europe at all if they don't win this whole tournament. So that's crazy. That's what Lyon was going through last year. I mean, a pandemic year, they didn't even qualify.
Oh yeah.
In their own league, they were 7th in their own league and couldn't. That was like basically it was like we're not going anywhere. So this is it for us. This our Super Bowl is this tournament.
Yeah, I got to go with Juvie on this one because I'm just taking a look online. It says out of the last 25 times they played Villarreal, only 16 draws. It looks like 5 losses. So.
Yeah. I like it. Plus, I want to see McKinney, put in some work. That's always cool to watch him play. And Chiesa, Juventus have star players. It's a peculiar.
I mean, going back to what y'all said at the beginning, this is the worst nightmare matchup for this whole thing. Villarreal is in like 12th place in La Liga, and they're like in 12th place in Serie A. And it's like, wow. So these are the two matchups we got.
You know what? Like thinking of a group. I mean, you don't always have control over what groups you're put in the Champions League, but this speaks to that when you're a favorite of how important it is to handle your business. You know what I'm saying? Juventus won their group. So y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about us as far as not performing up to a peak level. We won the games in front of us that we needed to win to put us in this position. And I respect them on that level. You know what I mean? But
because PSG, if you think about it on a longer term thing for PSG came second in their league. So that made them already in a lower pot for the group stage selection. So that's how you end up with Man City and Leipzig in your group because they came in second, tricking it off to Lille last year. Then you don't win your group, so that's how you get Real Madrid in your first round matchup.
And is that what we're saying? Is that maybe how you lose someone like an Mbappe, or is it vice versa? Or was losing?
Oh, no, I think he's been gone for like 3 years. Never for this contract to go. I don't think there's nothing they could do.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean as far as like because. I'll say it like this, like especially if we use it as an analogy for any type of relationship. If he wanted to be there, he would have signed that extension already. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing with Pogba.
If he was with who he wanted to be with, I'm going to make the necessary move. I'm not going to just let my lease run out and just be like, I don't know where I want to live next semester, sweetie. I'm still trying to keep it up in the air. You don't want to be there anymore, so you want to move away and do something, and you don't want to say that. He wants to leave is why he didn't sign an extension. They offered him an extension already. So he wants to go. Is that why?
You're absolutely right. That's clearly how this works. And it's just, more the unwritten rules of football. But obviously, same like you're saying, same thing with Pogba. When the contract's in front of you and the numbers are right, why are you not signing? I mean, that tells us you want to go elsewhere.
So it's like, yeah. And that's why I say, like, is that maybe why the inconsistency is there, because that situation is inconsistent, or is it inconsistent play of the team frustrating that individual star to where I don't want to be here anymore? And
It's the
I don't know.
Neymar effect, man. Neymar's the dude you just don't want to kick it with. Like, that sounds good, like on paper, to hang out with him. Like, he's a dude you be like, man, dude, they over there popping bottles. They doing it over, and then you actually get over in the crew and hanging out. You like, this is a horrible dude to hang out with. He gonna try to take all the women.
We got practice tomorrow, man.
So you saying the whole setup is there, but you like, damn, but Neymar over there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, look, you a risk not even going in the booth. You like, I was gonna get my crown at the bar. I ain't even, I ain't even worth it over there. Because Neymar gonna take all the girls. He gonna maybe fight somebody else randomly. Like, it's just gonna be an unpleasant night. Now keep in mind, one of your nights may be crazy dope with him, and he may be in a good mood, and y'all doing it crazy. But then that next Saturday, you in a fight now. He like, yo, oh, so you got shorty number? Oh, word. I used to holler at her. You like, oh, word, okay.
I can see
Neymar.
I can see Neymar being
right.
exactly.
That's like, and it is cool, and it is like totally helter skelter, man. Yeah. And PSG's hampered by that contract. They can't even make no moves.
They've been making enough moves though, because I mean,
they got Messi on the low.
That's why I say
I want to add something to the end that me and Double D have talked about, and I want to present this later on. I'm just going to, for everybody that's going to tease it future, is Barcelona been running a Ponzi scheme? So we're going to tack that on as our last question. It's a real thing that we researched. Me and Double D had like an hour conversation about this, and we really looked at the numbers. We're like, they running a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, you got to run this down.
Yeah. But so let's keep with the championship.
It's interesting though when you dive into it. It's pretty interesting though.
Yeah. So, all right. Next up, Inter versus Liverpool.
Oh man, I like this matchup. It's a heavy one as far as name goes with Inter Milan, but they're not quite up to their usual glory. However, this team is dangerous. Like, this Inter team is really, really good. I like this matchup. I like it because especially it's you can see it as a real change in styles, like that really high intense pressing of Liverpool and that more methodical and trapping style of Inter. It should be a really good game. Liverpool, I have Liverpool as the favorite, but yeah, I like this game.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go straight up Liverpool. I definitely think Inter's a worthy opponent.
Right.
But the way Liverpool is playing right now, hitting on all cylinders, man. Even with their limited depth, I think they're getting the most out of their players. I think that continues.
I want to add one other thing with Liverpool too, and it's not just Champions League related. It's related to their form as a whole. Man, I am extremely impressed with the fact that it's their midfield, because the midfield, it's such a rotating cast. You can't, like, you can pick, when you think of Liverpool, you think of, even though Jota and Firmino kind of can flip-flop, you can picture in a front three that makes Liverpool what Liverpool is. But when you think of the midfield trio that they come out with, it can change game to game. And it seems like here lately they've been using cast that you're not even really as familiar with. Like Oxlade-Chamberlain's been playing a lot. Been playing well, balling. Curtis Jones been getting a lot of tick. We've heard of him coming up, but he's getting a lot more tick this year. They had some not criticism, but it was kind of comments about Thiago Alcantara about maybe he's not clicking with the team as well. And that's been completely 180 from that the last month or so. Like, he's been in just crazy form, but he's not playing. He doesn't have to play every game because it's so many things. Nikita, Jordan Henderson, it's like they're just roll. And it's like I said, some people I can't even remember their names that have been playing in the last month. And it's like, well, they should be able to beat them. Look who they're playing in midfield, and then they still can't even touch the Liverpool. Like, threaten them. It's amazing.
You're absolutely right, man. Maintaining the level no matter who's on the pitch. That's one, and you got to give credit to the manager for that. Yeah. We see a lot of other clubs where one piece missing, it's a whole different ball of wax out there. So no, that's huge. And Thiago, like you're talking about, man, he's just like the TikTok, that deep lying playmaker, just pinging the ball all over the pitch. I mean, he really really is the glue.
Right. Like he's really settled in the last like two months here. He's really clicked in with that team. It's dangerous.
All right. Next up, we have our own Manchester United versus Atletico Madrid.
Oh man. I like this, man, because this is what, like, Manchester United was at the center of this entire situation for the redraw, because the initial thing was we got matched up with Villarreal. Villarreal was our initial opponent, which, as we stated earlier, you can't play somebody that was in your group. So that right off Jump Street, the draw is all suspect. We tried again, and then they make the actual human error this time and switch that up. And I thought, whenever I saw that, like, and it was with Atletico Madrid, and they didn't put us in the pot with them, it seemed like, you know what, that's probably who we should have. Talking about that soccer guys thing, how they pointed towards something. I'm like, that's who they want us to play. Sure enough, you know, we end up getting matched up.
A lot of people have been talking about, you know, they're gonna press us, they're gonna do they're gonna grime it up, all the dirty stuff. If you look at their team, they don't have nobody. They got 2 people out from red cards from the Porto fight. I want to talk about it after we finish this as well. But the Porto fight, 2 players were out with red cards from there. So they sitting on those, and those don't get erased. Even though it was other yellow cards too. It's a mess. It's a mess of an event. But those yellow cards don't get erased until the quarterfinals.
That's pretty.
So even if other people come out and they jump another yellow card up, you got 5. You out the next game at the next fixture.
Yeah.
So, but I think they're gonna muck it up, and they got a great manager. But I think we pull it out. Ronaldo has like never lost to Atletico Madrid basically ever in his life, for real, until he went to Juventus.
Right. Yeah. So you already know what that pregame.
You already know he's hyped for that. He was all about that. And I think he would have been ready for that Messi challenge too, because he already. And if we win this, we're gonna get PSG in the quarterfinal. Look, they ain't gonna have no computers there. They're just gonna come out with a sheet saying this is who we decided for everybody to play.
Man,
that feels a little better.
Let me jump
down
in.
to 16. You know.
So, I mean, who else would have been at the center of this madness outside of Manchester United? So, to me, it was only right. I mean, if you had told me another
not once but twice too, Brandon. Not once but twice.
Woosah. I gotta go with Atletico Madrid.
Wow, this is where we're talking about pure hate.
GP going with him.
No. I always use the eye test, common sense, right?
You know, João Felix is out for the season. You know this, right? I mean,
doesn't matter.
Luis Suarez just got hurt.
What we're talking about is clubs that perform well in these sorts of tournaments, the sort of culture, you know, that's built within these clubs. It starts with having a stable foundation.
They're missing 2 of their top 3 strikers, like their front line. They only have 1 person left is Griezmann. And you believe in Griezmann.
Doesn't matter. They're one of the deeper clubs in La Liga, and academy-wise as well. So I don't have any concerns in that area. You guys are really trying to find yourselves. You know, I saw you even threw in your little tidbit with Ronaldo. He's virtually never lost. Well, there's a first time for everything, right? And you know, for what it's worth, man, I gotta go with Atletico.
So keep in mind, we'll have a healthy Varane back, a healthy Pogba back as well. And you're saying that you just think it's just a runaway?
Pogba's mentally checked out. He may be
he needs to get some checks. He needs to show like I need whatever team I want to go to get them checks. He don't want to play himself like Dennis Schroeder did. He want to make sure that check is available.
I don't even think that's a real possibility for that to happen. His track record of performance at the highest level is way different than Schroeder's. That's not fair. But no, man, I don't think that it's a guaranteed blowout by any means.
No, I wouldn't say it's guaranteed, but I think we're comfortably the favorites.
One thing I would say though, to Brandon and to anyone that feels Atletico is the favorite. One thing I would say, I could see what they're saying in terms of that term team identity, how Atletico Madrid knows what they are right now as opposed to Manchester United, who does not. But the thing with that, and this is where it becomes critical, because of when we play. We don't play until February 15th or 16th. By the time we get to that date, this Manchester United team is going to be, well, potentially, they have a more potential to be dramatically better than Atletico Madrid does. The Madrid that we'll see of February 16th is probably just like the one we're seeing right now, as opposed to we're going to come in as a different team.
Ragnarok is here, baby. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's already started. It's already started.
Ragnarok is already started. He's out here getting Martial upset that we can ship him out. He's already shaking up the boat like he should be.
It's just a beautiful thing to watch a fan base. You know, it's just a beautiful thing to watch a fan base just go hook, line, and sinker.
No, look, and I'm there. I'm only optimistic just for this round. Like if we come out and they throwing us against Liverpool next round, I'm like, we out. You know, like I get, like I'm realistic unless I see some major results. But we've keeping clean sheets. You know what I'm saying? The Hand's been keeping clean sheets for the last.
I'll sip on the Kool-Aid, bro. I'll sip it.
Yeah,
not a whole.
I ain't guzzle.
I'll sip it. I'll say that we are favorites for this. And even if we play PSG, if we don't play Bayern, I'm confident that we even win our quarterfinal. Unless we play Bayern or, like you said, Liverpool or City, we're gonna win our quarterfinal.
Oh, Chelsea, we ain't worried about no Chelsea. We tied y'all at the crib without Pogba, without Varane, without Ragnarok. So many knots going on here.
I'm sipping just to see what flavor it is, but I'm not full on drinking. Ragnarok is here though. Mjolnir is actually under production. They're trying to get the forge going right now. I mean, it's almost here though, man.
Look, this is the thing that's a sleeper, and I hate to admit this. He got Lindelof playing well. Lord knows I don't know.
I was like, who is that? Who is that guy?
Listen. You guys can try to tag team me, go 2-on-1, but the facts remain. Neither one of you are sipping the Kool-Aid. Both of you guys are taking straight shots back to back. That's what I'm hearing. That's the translation of what I'm seeing. And listen, I understand. You got to believe. You got to start somewhere. But I need to see long-term success. You guys got lucky at the weekend.
This is the thing coming from you though. B saying this. When is the last time y'all finished ahead of us in our league? For you to just be saying like, yeah, all this. I mean, when is the last time y'all finished ahead of us in the league?
The past is the past. What I'm talking about is what I see in front of me. And I'm not even as boastful as I normally am. I don't know if you've seen me freaking out on Twitter. I think we need a goalkeeper in January.
Yeah, you're freaking out with that, man. You're bugging. Mindy's good, man. Stop it with that.
You know, and Rudiger keeps me up at night, man.
Why y'all want to sign that man? Y'all want to extend him?
I'm like, Marina, $400,000 a week. Get the checkbook out. Write the check.
Man, because he's 28, man. He's 28, 27, 28.
He's hands down the best defender in the Premier
League. 100%. Oh, is it him or Van Dijk?
It's always Van Dijk. You know what I mean?
It's always Van Dijk.
He gives you more than Van Dijk. I mean, just how many runs forward he's making per game. I mean,
he's playing great this year, man. He's actually nobody can really even duplicate that 3-back system because it's not necessarily revolutionizing the game as far as how it's choking it up because he does it on the left-hand side and then either if it's Chalova is kind of like the second. Who's the other guy? That's Christensen. That's his name. Yeah. He's like they always come up to like choke the field up from their position. It's pretty good how they have it going right now.
Yeah, I mean, and won 2 penalties, helped us win the match. I mean, the guy's all over the place, and I think definitely like
he's been getting some shots off too. He had that crossbar against us.
That's right. That is
a couple times this year. He's come up and let him lose.
I think he's got to be in that early conversation of Premier League Player of the Year. I think he's got it.
Or at least like the best 11.
The defenders never get enough love. The defenders never get enough love, and this year probably won't be any different. But I mean, and that's not me just being a Chelsea supporter. But
no. I mean, it's ridiculous the year Van Dijk didn't win the Ballon d'Or that year.
That's true too. That year he was.
Yeah. That year, literally, he could shield a whole section of the goal for himself. and
But he
like
was scoring goals
and make
too.
you lean to another direction.
As well, you know what I mean? That's really
talking about
where,
Chelsea. They take on Lille, the League champions.
Yeah, man, let me jump in there straight away. I mean, I don't think anything could have been better for us.
Right.
How worried were you with the redraw happening? Like they gonna screw? Like how bad were you? Like they gonna put us?
I felt like it was a setup, man. I felt like it was a setup. I really did. But you know, man, hey, the guys, they shine down on us. I think we repeat, man. We're the champions, and those are the
y'all repeat.
Yeah,
whoa,
I'm here.
Somebody slipping the Kool-Aid.
No, I'm here.
Somebody repeat.
I'm seeing what's happening on the pitch. I'm reading the tea leaves.
Only thing, this is the thing, though, that Chelsea hosts for that, all right, maybe Sporting can pull an upset. It's going to be like, and then they're going to draw that team and pull the upset like they did with Porto last year. And then they'll get the other side of the bracket where Bayern and PSG on one side, they get a depleted Real Madrid with everybody gone and they back four, and they'll beat them, and then they'll be in a championship, and it's a one-game setup against Man City, and then they can win. That's their road to a final championship.
Doesn't matter how you get there; it just matters if you lift the trophy. See, last year you saw us on the podium. You saw us with the winners' medal.
I can't wait till they put y'all against Bayern in the next round. I just can't wait. I can't wait.
The fact that y'all got Lille both times, it kind of lowers the credibility of the redraw. You know what I'm saying? It was like, because the probability of this happening, it's like, what?
How you come second in your group and get and you know whatever, but then you get the easiest winner of their group. Go get it. Y'all should have got Ajax. Y'all should have got Ajax.
Listen, all I can do is play the teams that they put in front of us. That's all that we can do.
And mention the Ajax. Shout out to Ajax, who's playing Benfica. That's our last matchup.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting game. Ajax, I'm going Ajax.
Ajax ain't no joke. I watched their last game. Sebastian Haller, who used to be on West Ham, is leading the Champions League in goals with team.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot for him. I don't know if that's more the league or his personal performance, but
no, he's leading Champions League with 10.
Okay. I thought you were talking about
no. I mean, he's leading the Champions League with 10 goals.
Okay. Shit, man. He's on fire.
Exactly.
It's just
and keep in mind, he got sent to a developmental team at 29 years old.
Right. So he's supposed to be on his way out. Yeah.
Right. So it was like it's a weird thing. He like, all right, I mean, I guess I'm gonna beat these young boys and we go ball out.
He's your classic target man, you know, slow, tall, shield, you know, bring the ball down. Yeah.
I think it kind of anytime you have a striker like that, like true target man striker, it kind of speaks to the work of the team around them, because it tells me that they have a very well coached team in their roles. They know, like, the people on the outside must know exactly what is expected of them and what they are being asked to do, and it's to feed in to the danger areas in the middle of the box. And so they're consistent with it, and it sounded like they're very effective with it as well.
Yeah.
And, it actually sounds like, hearing his age as well, it makes me think about the Juan Mata situation, because like, being that old, and I can see a team maybe like that with youngsters that are coming up that are fly, but we need one person to solidify us. Let's get an older cat, Haller, put him in there with Ajax. We got all these young wingers and cats around us. Let's put him with that, finish it off. He's scoring goals for us, and it's clicking. Ten Hag was actually a coaching option for Manchester United. That rumor had come up, but he's got them playing so well that it was like, man, I gotta see this thing out. So
yeah, and I ain't mad at him.
No, it makes sense.
And shout out to Sebastian Haller, who's French, but figured out a way through back channels to become an Ivory Coast person in the last 2 months. And he's now an Ivory Coast because he couldn't go on that French squad. No, for real.
Oh, man.
Maybe it's probably his wife or something.
No, his mom. Remember I was telling you.
Oh, that's right.
His mom.
That's right.
His mom is Ivory Coast, and his dad is French, white French at that.
Yeah.
And hey, that's actually that could actually.
So his two older brothers and sisters are full Ivory Coast. he's the only one that's biracial.
He's the French one. They
Yeah, man,
And he ain't never been to Ivory Coast kicking it, but he's on the Ivory Coast team now.
but he actually could score a lot of goals on that team. I mean,
Yeah.
What Double D is
Mbappe,
describing,
Griezmann, and all them, he knew what it was.
no, what Double D is describing at Ivory Coast, all the wingers, the wing backs playing, service. He'll just live off quality service, and that's what you're seeing at Ajax is the difference between consistent quality service versus not having it, and
right.
A guy like him can feed.
So everybody's got their rounds for that. Has everybody checked out the MLS Cup? New York FC won the MLS Cup. Nobody expected it, but it feels like in general with the MLS Cup, it's never the team that you think is going to win it all. And I don't know. Do you think they should do 2 fixtures for this?
Never for the final. But
for these other rounds where you like, it'd be like 8 seed beating a 1, which is cool. But it's like, man, like, do we really want this? I mean, like the year LAFC had like everybody on it, and they get knocked out, Or the year when Zlatan was on the Galaxy, didn't they get upset too?
Yeah, they didn't make it. You're absolutely right. That does seem like a reoccurring theme in MLS where the lead horse never seems to make it. They never seem to make it. They always bow out early, and something crazy, seems to happen. Why do you think that is in MLS? Is it the inconsistent quality of play?
I think it's more so the format. I just think the format is more.
It's American style.
That's what I'm about to say. It's more American style format. So what we're seeing, we as a soccer community, we thrive off of that playoff style of any professional league. So it's like, and that's what we're seeing. And when you thrive off of it like that, it's 2 different seasons. And so whoever won just the regular season, it doesn't really translate over 100% into playoff ball, because it's a different environment, and that's when we end up seeing. And then it's also shorter amounts of games, and when you lose, you lose that that huge edge that you have with the season, and that's a war of attrition. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to build yourself a whole different way when you're building it for a drawn out campaign, as opposed to just that blitzkrieg action and just game to game. So it's a lot different.
You think it's the quality of play, B, or what do you think?
I mean, you know me, I've never been a fan of the quality of play on the pitch, unfortunately, man. I think Double D's point makes a lot of sense. Or maybe to a degree, but I kind of challenge and push back, like even with the NBA, like, an 8 could beat a 1, but typically you're going
that doesn't happen too much.
Yeah, the big guns are going to advance. And in MLS, I mean, it's just everything's a crapshoot, like you said, 2 completely different seasons. That's why the regular season don't really have a whole lot of value, and it's hard for me to watch and justify another subscription package. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, even if I fall in love with a club, it's still unlikely that they're going to progress.
One quick question for the 2 of you in regards to like that more American mindset when it comes to sports. Which these 2 sports really, as we were talking about this, just really came to mind, like baseball and the Stanley Cup playoffs. Out of those 2, which do y'all feel like really can? It almost, because like I said, it's a 2 different seasons. It's like 2 different feels to those things. Like
I think NHL's tightened up on that too. The NHL, like, it's really like back in the day, it'd be an 8 seed win the whole thing in NHL. But now it's tightened up a lot more. You're not going to see too many Las Vegas Knights teams. That was like a special season. Most of the time you'll see that top 1, 2, 3 seed kind of win it. That's kind of how I see NHL. But baseball, I think baseball's tightening up too. Don't it feel like I don't really see too many wild cards going all the way either?
Okay. Y'all Canadians will win up nowhere.
Yeah, and I think baseball definitely is giving us what we should be seeing. And traditionally, they always do. Yeah, when looking at the Stanley Cup playoffs, you're right. I think maybe the past 5 years is kind of tightened down, and you're getting the results that you should. But you were right. There was a time period in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, where in the NHL, anything could happen.
Right, you get a hot goalie. And it
Playoffs.
was like, that's what I say with baseball too. Is like you get a hot. You don't see that as much anymore, but you get a hot pitcher or a pitching staff, and it's like, oh snap! Like, yeah, y'all just got the wild card, but y'all got the people that want to pin it on the ropes because y'all are,
Well, I think that extra wild card game that the wild card team has to play now, I think that may have affected them for that next round, because now I got to go, or especially if you were like the last team in, I got to go to San Diego. I won there. I was the away team. Then I got to go all the way to, let's say you playing the Cardinals. Now I got to go all the way to St. Louis, and then I'm the away team there for 2 nights. And then I got to go back to San Diego, and then I got my game 3, game 4. It's a lot on that. They put more pressure on that team they made it last in.
Yeah. And baseball is such an intricate sport in terms of the subtle techniques of it. That's why I like it. I put a lot of similarities with soccer in that regard, as far as any young American audience member or anybody with kids and things like that. It's a weird relationship between athleticism and technique, to where you got to have both, but technique is probably even more important. It's kind of like how it is with baseball too. It's like technique still paramount all. Yes, the people that are pros are incredible athletes, but first and foremost, they are technically fundamentally sound at that sport. You know what I mean? So it's a very unique skill set,
All right. My last topic that I wanted to talk about. Oh, go ahead, Double D.
No, I was just making that analogy.
Last topic. Barcelona is running a Ponzi scheme. All right. So the reason I came in and I figured this out is me and Double D was telling me, like, man, like we were like, what are the richest clubs in general in sports? All right. So the Dallas Cowboys are the richest club in the world, period, like value-wise. All right. Barcelona is the third most valuable organization. Fourth most valuable. This is by Forbes magazine, May of this year. They're the 4th most valuable organization with a value of $4.7 billion. 34% change each year is the average of them going up in value. 34%.
Damn, okay.
Yeah. So now we start there. We start with the money. So now let's go to Messi.
Wait, hold on. Before you go to Messi, though, to add this in too, and also keep in mind where they are. You know what I'm saying? That's that Catalan country.
Yeah.
And they have a very, because there's a lot of those people are ethnically related, and so they have a very tight-knit mindset, which goes into business mindset as well. And there's actually not full on, it's not communism, but they have
but because they're owned by the people. They don't have an owner.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They have a board that kind of runs it, like the Green Bay Packers,
Right.
Real Madrid's the same way as well. They're run by the people as well, like kind of like a consortium of the people. So I was thinking about the Messi thing. He was like, Messi was getting so much money. And I was thinking about it. I was like, he still was underpaid though. It's like LeBron. It's like, if you should pay him $100 million a year, if not more, a year.
Yeah, okay.
Because, and I'm thinking about this now, I'm going into, and I think the reason the Ponzi thing comes from is how much money, I looked it up, how much money do you think that Barcelona made per year on non-Messi Barcelona jerseys?
I don't know, how much?
They made $350 million on non-Messi jerseys. But the only reason people are getting the jersey is because of Messi. You see what I'm saying? And those are the ones without his name on the back.
Okay.
So now, you're saying we're bankrupt and we're broke now just from a year of a pandemic.
So, okay.
That, keep it going even further. You blocked Messi from going to Man City and was like throwing up all these flags, all these lawyers going in and pulling out all these different things to keep him from believing and telling them, like, we got you, we're going to pay you your money. Then at the last minute, they like, we got your money. And then literally send an email out on the last day of the transfer window, or like 2 days before the transfer window closes, saying, we ain't got it. It was nice knowing you, Messi. It's been great. Been around you, but we don't have the money to take care of you. Now they're talking about selling off. Every player is up for sale for Barcelona.
Everybody's
For sale. De Jong's for sale. Dest's for sale. I mean, literally, they're doing a bazaar for selling of players like they're Osana. They're like a random team. But you're worth the 4th most in the world franchise-wise. How is it one player leaving has crippled your organization? The reason is I think they were loaning against the profits of what Messi can bring in. So they were just guaranteed, they were just moving that money because they was guaranteed. We got 350 million coming from jersey sales. We got Bobble night.
Yeah, but that's a standard business practice.
Right. But I think they rolled the dice too long. Every year they were running their figures. They forgot the original guys weren't the same guys there later on. They took the Quicken books from 8 years ago and was like, that's just what we do. And didn't realize that they was cooking the books early. And that was supposed to be taken out in 5 years, but y'all cleared house maybe up top. You know, those same things. Nobody knows. Everybody know when they go to a new job. You don't know what's going on with the books inside. You don't know why did somebody move this here and you didn't know what was going on. And they were moving money because of Messi. So this whole time they've been running a Ponzi scheme because they've been moving money and expecting money because of Messi and because of these different things and loaning against that. So therefore, they not even got no money. This money is fake.
It's a fiat system. Okay. I see what you said.
It's a fiat system. They're broke right now.
This is what makes it really devastating for them to not advance to the Champions League.
Exactly. They're sticking with the Super League. They the last holdouts. Like, we really need this, y'all. I need this.
And then they might have been in cahoots from the start with that, you know.
That's what I'm saying. The new guys that came in on the books is like, oh snap. Hey, do y'all realize that we really negative?
He was over at the screen like, hey, Greg, I don't know if you know, man. It's like, if we keep doing what we're doing, bro, we about to go broke in 5 years. Hey, man, don't say nothing.
He was like, but you know what? I got another idea though. The Super League.
And look, no.
It'll all be forgotten.
It's like Enron. And when if it wasn't for the pandemic, we would have never known they was broke.
Right. Yeah. Gerald, you normally are very extreme with your conspiracies, but you might be actually on to something. I mean, you presented a damn.
Because nobody expected this shutdown like this in the economic downturn. So
and it rose to the surface. Right. Okay.
Right. Because we were expecting the ticket sales to buffer this. We expecting people to come out and buy some jerseys at the game on this, beer sales, all this stuff, and it's shut down, and nobody can go to the game, and then our team sucks on top of it.
Right.
Now this cat is for real. He had the leverage to where, you know what? I don't even really want. He could have really said, and he was saying this. I don't want a salary. Go ahead and give me a percentage ownership of the team. Wait, no. And that's when it's like, oh snap, we got to do something.
It's salt on more than wounds. What this whole thing is, if you think about Barcelona, where they are right now, compared to like even in the past. Messi was really kind of built them up. They were great before, but I'm talking about where they're worth billions of dollars. There was no way they was worth this much money before. Real Madrid was probably traditionally over time. Man U, Chelsea, all these other clubs were like, Barcelona was not worth this much money until they got Messi and they ran their books off of Messi. So when he's gone, you're losing that caveat with it. And then I think actually I remember my thought. The La Liga contract with ESPN, I think, had an ironclad thing in the back end. I have no proof for this. It's only conspiracy. That if Messi's not in this league, you don't get as much dough for this La Liga ESPN dough thing. It was a small little in the fine print of, you know.
But they probably put it in there because Ronaldo left. They probably did that because it was like, hey, Ronaldo's already gone, so we got to have somebody's.
Yep. And they signed it the week before Messi ended up going to PSG. That's why I was like, oh, yeah, they was trying to get over a little bit.
I'll tell you what, Barcelona's on the clock, man. They got 24 hours to respond to the podcast. And poke some holes in this theory.
What's interesting, too, is like to go with what you're saying about this, because that is pretty shocking for them to be ranked that high, because Barcelona's whole fame was built on, as far as like on the anybody that's not even necessarily a Barcelona fan, just a soccer fan, that was always the people's team. Like that's what their fortune was built off of as far as their popularity goes. That was like Real Madrid was the more
aristocratic,
fluid team, the big team, the Yankees, the big team, Cowboys.
Yeah.
And then, that's the blue collar team is Barcelona. That's the working class team. So for them to be like that, it's all because of that Messi era, all of that. And maybe that's why they don't handle it as well either. Maybe it's they got their hood rich mentality and they not spending it right.
And I think that Messi has a small beef with them on a low. He just ain't gonna never say nothing about it. Because they took care of him when he was young. They up when he was hurting all that. But when bobblehead nights happening, Messi, and he ain't getting no bread off of this for like 15 years, and y'all want to pay me no dough to stay?
Yeah, that was dirty. That was definitely.
It's all good, y'all set. But I mean, how long has it got to be where I got to be giving you only love? You know what I'm saying? How long is I supposed to do that for?
I think one day the truth is gonna come out. His 30 for 30 is gonna be crazy.
I
think a lot of this is on the right.
Hey, the 30 for 30 Barcelona was running a Ponzi scheme. That's what's gonna be the one coming up.
Oh, and then what I was referencing, we were having that conversation is like, but because what ends up really happening in European football is like they have a lot of scandals for various reasons. And we were talking about the situation with Juventus a few years ago where they were getting caught up in that match fixing scandal or whatever.
How your president on the club team?
Oh, and then like with AC Milan, my team, man, like Berlusconi. This cat, he's the owner of the team, not just president, but ends up because he was a media conglomerate guy, like a Ted Turner type, and ends up becoming the president of Italy at some point, prime minister, whatever it was, which in and of itself is pretty wild. But it's like it wasn't like he stepped down from owning AC Milan, so it's like wait,
conflict of interest, yeah.
We already got this kind of stuff happening. He ended up getting. He ended up getting caught up in some weird scandal with some young girls and stuff, getting like some R. Kelly type situation where he got like videos in. And this is the president. So that's why Barcelona running the Ponzi type scheme. That's not far-fetched at all to me.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, when you look back at the history of FIFA, you know what I mean? All of the scandals.
Hunter has the World Cup, y'all. That's all we need to say.
Brandon, did you see this episode, man, when Sheriff Tiraspol beat Real Madrid? And then like on CBS, they were talking about Sheriff because they were like, well, who is this team? And
it's I shot the sheriff of everybody that we call I shot the sheriff.
Yeah, I forgot what they're like out of some small country or something like that. But anyway, like
Moldova.
Their old leadership group or some like ex KGB lieutenants. What? Like, so it goes down, man.
And was that you, B, that was saying that like the girls was like, yeah, like we kick it with them all the time or something like it? It's crazy.
Who knows?
And that's a wild story in and of itself. Like where they play, it really is Moldova, like or Sarkovia. They play in like from the Marvel universe. They play in a country like that. It's crazy.
And they have all second-rate, third-rate Brazilian players and South American players on there. They best players from Luxembourg. He's the best player on their team.
They got some shady stuff happening over there, and that's European. It's almost like a clean version of boxing.
I really wanted them to win. I really wanted them to get to that next round of the Champions League, just for we could just figure out what's going on with them. Now, the only thing that I was thinking about, even more conspiracy, I think I shot the sheriff actually through their games against Inter, but they wouldn't get the big spotlight. It's like being like you don't want all the spotlight because we got too much popping.
No. It wasn't the spotlight. It wasn't the spotlight. So what it was, we gonna throw these games against them now because
and get going to Europa.
We got people now they're betting against us or they're betting on us now. Think we might do something. Now the odds are in our favor to where if we bet against ourselves, we'll get paid off because we're taking a dive.
Dude, let's hope not, man. But you're right.
But you got cameras doing documentaries.
Though they beat them.
You got documentaries talking about this team from Moldova. You got too many people coming in town wanting to check out stuff. You know what? Y'all need to go. I know y'all in the top of the group right now. Y'all need to hold this off real quick. We got people flying there trying to interview people and too many people talking.
They qualify for Europa, right?
Yeah, they down in Europa. They down in Europa.
Yeah.
They
All
did
right,
get to it.
fellas. That is it for another episode of Just Kicking It. Thank you once again, Double D. Where can they hit you up at online, man?
I mean, SethUbanu@gmail.com, and here soon I'll have that YouTube channel by the same name to check out. But right now, just the email,
All right.
and also Twitter and Instagram as well.
All right, B. Where everybody hit you up at?
Always spring. You guys can always, definitely appreciate you checking out the pod. All of my handles at Phoenix Piff. Definitely get at me on Twitter. Let's get active in the comment section.
All right, and as always, remember, make sure y'all check us out. And after this, we're gonna have on tack onto this for everybody listening. We're gonna have the live episode tacked on after this. You can check out the live show we did in Amsterdam. We may have to do another one. B, I don't know what I mean. We have to do another one since you're coming back.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm in town. That's our home away from home. So definitely, if you're local, come check us out at the Amsterdam.
All right, we'll see y'all soon.
Peace.